starches like sweet potato, butternut squash, yams, things like that. The foods that make you less healthy: dairy, grains, legumes, which are beans, like and then any kind of sugars or processed foods. Alcohol also is not going to make you healthier. Sorry.
What about rice?
What? Rice is a grain. So rice is going to be on the foods that make us less healthy. Alright? One of the things that we've decided to put in there is that there's kind of a lot of variations that have been made as far as paleo is concerned. Probably the most common variation that we find is what people like to call a primal diet. So a primal diet is basically the same type of a diet as a paleo diet is, except for you're adding dairy to your making. It's pretty much the biggest difference between the two. So you're still eating clean meats, you're still eating healthy fats, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds, but you've added dairy into the equation. We really feel like a primal diet can be a healthy diet for some people, but you have to find out whether or not dairy really kind of negatively affects you. And that takes a little bit of, experimentation. So,
And the kind of dairy is really important.
Yeah.
Raw, full fat, not processed, no low fat, no whey.
We're specific on our kinds of dairy. What? Unprocessed raw? Yeah, we're of the belief that raw dairy is going to be a better choice for you than pasteurized dairy. We're very lucky that we have the ability to get raw milk, some raw cheese, sometimes raw cream, depending on if the cows are cooperating, from a local farm. They get delivered to the gym twice a month. So we'll definitely have more info on that after the public events when I'm writing down for y'all. Alright, so the biggest thing about paleo and the biggest thing that people, I guess, controversy about it is grains. Everybody's been told that grains are good for us, whole grains, they're going to make us healthier, and really paleo wants to, we're aiming to dispel the myth that whole grains make you healthier. Okay? The biggest problem with grains is that they're very inflammatory. They cause a lot of damage to the intestinal lining, and that's the main reason why we don't want to have grains in the diet. Other reasons are they're very carbohydrate dense, very nutrient poor, so really when you're eating grains, all you're getting is a bunch of processed carbs and not a whole lot of anything else. Yeah? Yes, we do. Shocking, I know. Avoid all bread.
Although there is a paleo bread now that is actually pretty good. There's a coconut and there's an almond flour one that you can order online.
It's called Julian's Bakery. You can Google it. Had a couple people have ordered it.
I've ordered it. I think it's not
It's an
bread.
acceptable substitute. It's not really acceptable. People with sprouted grains. Now, there is, like I said, with paleo, there's a lot of different variations. We got primal, where they're like, oh, I'm paleo, but I have a little bit of dairy. And then there's the people that go for more of what they consider kind of a whole foods diet, and they eat like sprouted grains, smoked legumes. I really think that in optimal health, you don't need to eat grains, and I don't think it really makes you healthier. So I'm not really of the camp that the sprouted grains are really going to be all that healthy, because there's so much other stuff that you can get. Like you can get your nutrients from so many better sources. So that's just kind of where
It's just kind of crowding out a lot of your veggies, a lot of your good things and stuff. But I think, that's what we can talk about too.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I don't necessarily expect it to be 100% causing a lot of damage. That gluten molecule, when it gets into the bloodstream, looks very similar to some other proteins and other, to some extent, sometimes body parts, and your immune system can get really confused. So that's when you can come up with a lot of issues, people that have autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, a lot of mental disorders, ADHD, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis. That can all spur from basically your immune system being out of whack because it's been bombarded with all these inflammatory compounds like gluten, and then it kind of goes crazy and starts attacking other healthy parts of your body. So for a lot of patients with autoimmune issues, when we pull them off of their inflammatory foods, they feel a lot better. That may or may not apply to some of y'all because some of y'all might not have any autoimmune disorders, but what a lot of athletes have found and why it's important for y'all is that they found that their joints, specifically a lot of times the joints, feel better, less achy, less problems with wrist pains, tendinitis is